Hi, I'm Dana Lynn. I'm a registered dietitian who specializes in behavior change. And today we're going to talk about not talking about exercise. What? All right, so what we're going to start by doing is I want you to check in with yourself when I say the word exercise. How do you feel? Think about what types of exercises come to mind. Imagine yourself doing those. How is your body responding right now? If you're feeling a little bit of like a tightness, any sort of constriction in the chest, the stomach, the shoulders, your face, any sort of tension going on there, um, maybe that means you have a negative relationship with that word exercise. If you feel expansion, a lightness coming up, you feel good, that's probably indicative that you have a positive relationship with exercise. And the reason we're doing this right now is I want you to check in with yourself and see what is your relationship with exercise, because it's different for all of us. But I would say for most people, you probably are feeling a little bit more of that contraction, having a little bit more of a negative reaction to the word exercise. And I think so much of that is because we have come to this point in society where we use exercise as a way of changing our body because we don't like the way our body is. So maybe we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to build muscle, we're trying to, whatever it is, build physique. We're just trying to make that change. Maybe it feels like a punishment for something we ate. It oftentimes is kind of associated with feeling like a punishment for many of us. And sometimes there's a little bit of a weird nuance where maybe it's a punishment, but it has this negative spin because there's this addictive quality for some of us for exercise. I experienced this my sophomore year of college when I saw my body starting to change because I was drinking way too much beer. So I was gaining weight and I was like, okay, I need to lose weight. So I started going to the gym and was doing all these things and I got really hooked on it. There was joy in the addiction, I guess, but I wasn't there happy. I was watching those calories. It was a very negative, unhealthy relationship I had with exercise, even though in my mind I thought I loved it, to the point where I remember there was a Friday where me and my roommate wanted to drive home to LA and we wanted to leave early to beat traffic, or she wanted to, and I was like, no, I don't want to miss the gym, and I was so angry. Like it was affecting my roommates, it was affecting my friends because I was so hooked on it. So I want you to kind of check in with yourself. Where are you at in your relationship with exercise? Maybe you felt nothing when I said that, which that could be a couple things. Maybe you just have a neutral relationship with exercise, but normally it's more because we are so programmed to not pay attention to how our body feels with certain things that you just might not notice it. Whatever. There's no right or wrong. I just want you to start thinking about what that looks like for you. So say you did have that contraction, you do have a negative relationship with exercise. What does that mean now? What are you supposed to do? Are we supposed to just not exercise if that's the case? No, the movement's important. We as human beings our bodies are made, like literally designed and made to move constantly all day. We're lifting, we're walking, we're moving, our heart rate's up. I'm talking if we're looking way back in time when we didn't live in the crazy world we live in today, where now we're just sedentary, we're sitting at our computers, we're sitting on our phones scrolling, we're in our car driving, we're on the couch watching TV. We are so sedentary now, and the problem with that is we're seeing the health issues that are coming up. Oftentimes we'll hear from the exercise community, the benefits of exercise are that it can lower your blood pressure and we lose weight and it lowers, reduces risk of diabetes. It's going to help improve sleep. We're seeing all these, it's kind of advertised to us like, look at all these benefits of it. But if you actually break it down, and this might sound kind of weird for some of you, it's like a hair on my nose, that if you actually break it down, it's more that when we stop moving, since our bodies are made to move, when we stop moving, it's actually increasing our blood pressure. It's increasing our blood sugar. It's making our bodies so that we are unable to sleep. It is increasing our stress levels. So it's not that exercise has all these great benefits. The issue is that's how we're supposed to function, is up here. When we don't move our bodies start to break down. That's what's actually happening. Our bodies are no longer functioning the way they should. And I'm not saying this to, to get in your head that you have to exercise, because I think that's where we go so wrong with this and how we've gotten so off. Is notice, like, when are you saying, oh, I have to do this, I need to do this, I really should do this? Whenever we're getting into those shoulds, it's less likely to happen, because it's no longer coming from a place of joy and wanting to do this. It's coming from now a place of, I feel like I have to do this. And it makes it not very sustainable. We're less likely to do it. So then we have to kind of look at what happens when we don't do those things that we say we should do and we need to do, right? So, okay, I know I need to exercise today. I'm going to do it. And then you get busy doing this thing, and then you're just too tired and you don't end up doing it. How do you feel about yourself when that happens? Are you feeling, usually we don't feel good about ourselves. And notice, does it lead to other unhealthy behaviors? Because maybe you're like, well, I already messed up, so now I'm going to have this, unhealthy meal or dessert or whatever. So I think all of this is just to start paying attention to your relationship with exercise, how it affects other areas of your life. And I do, we want to shift that narrative, right? So, okay, how can we make exercise a part of our life without exercise? So what we could do is get rid of that word exercise. I don't like that word exercise. I think it's so loaded. So what we could do instead is just see if we can shift that word to like movement, or find your own word. But the whole point of it is, when we move our bodies as we are supposed to, what are the benefits that come from that? And start noticing those things. If you are moving or exercising for weight loss, not sustainable, doesn't feel good. Versus when you start checking in with your body after you do move, after you do have get that movement in, what are the benefits that you're experiencing? And oftentimes we don't even notice it because we don't pay attention. But are you feeling more energetic? Because it does, it increases our energy. Do you sleep better that night? Start paying attention to those things. And the more you can kind of pay attention to them, the more you'll start to notice when you don't move your body, you'll feel those uncomfortable feelings of increased stress, of not getting sleep. Like, that's one of the biggest things for me personally. I notice if I go way too many days without movement, which, let's be real, it totally happens. I've got a lot going on. It's an excuse, I know. But the first place I really notice it, there's two places actually. I don't sleep as well. My sleep is very interrupted. It's just not that good deep sleep. And I notice I'm just not quite as kind and patient with my family. So those are things that I can now, because I've been doing this work for so long, I can recognize, oh my gosh, I need to move. I need to get that movement in. So then it's a matter of, okay, once you recognize that you need that movement in, the key here is moving in a way that feels good. If you do not like going to the gym and getting on the treadmill, don't do that, because it's not sustainable. You have to find a way of movement that feels really good. Ideally while you're doing it, but I know that that can take some time. But even especially like afterward, and you want to get to a point where there's a sense of excitement. Like, another example, sometimes my husband loves doing like kettlebell and high intensity interval training workout stuff. So sometimes he'll talk me into doing it with him, and I'll do it. And afterward I feel good, but I freaking hate it while I'm doing it. So afterward I'm like, oh, I should do that more, because then I feel so strong and I have that confidence piece and all that stuff. But then he'll ask me again and I'm like, I really don't want to. And he has to talk me into it. And I finally have gotten to a point where I'm like, oh, that's not for me. And that's okay, because some people love that. Like, he loves that and he feels good doing it. So fabulous, he gets to do that. For me, I like walking in nature. I like doing yoga. It's taken me so many years to get to a point where, like, I'm giving myself permission to enjoy those things. So that's kind of what I'm proposing to you, is to start to figure out what actually feels good for your body, because we are all different. We all like different things. There is no one exercise that everyone needs to do, just like there's no one diet for everyone. We need to figure out what feels good for us. So start to pay attention to that. For a lot of us, honestly, getting in nature does make a big difference, and I'll do a whole video on that at some point. But paying attention to what feels good. Maybe it's dancing, just putting on music and dancing. That's another one that I go to, and especially on days if I don't have time to move my body, which happens. My new thing is now when I'm making dinner, I put on really fun, happy music, pump it loud, and I'm dancing while I'm cooking. I'm moving my body in a way that honestly, I get those same benefits as if I go take a hike or a walk. So start to play with different types of movement, see what feels good, so that this is something that can be sustainable. That's the whole point of it. And I know not everyone is able to do all the movements. You might have, a lot of pain or have health issues or whatever it is, mobility issues that you're unable to do a lot of things or certain things. Do what you can do. I think one of the main things is the more sedentary we are, the longer we wait to do those things, the harder it's going to be to get going. Our bodies really start to break down the more sedentary we are. So then when we do start doing them, there's more pain, there's more discomfort. Start where you're at, but the sooner you start, the sooner you're going to break past those barriers. If you need to talk to a physical therapist to figure out what types of movement you are able to do, if you have certain injuries, then do that. There's so much on YouTube now. If you like doing videos, there's classes. Like, find what works for you, find what feels good in your body. That's what you want to start focusing on, and focus on those benefits that you get afterward, and not the weight ones. We're getting rid of the weight thing here. We are talking about what feels good afterward. It's that movement with love, right? Love in your body. And I know not everyone's there. Not everyone wants to celebrate their body if you don't feel good about it. But that is my goal with a lot of these videos, is to get you to that point where you can fall in love with your body again and get to a point where this movement, you want to give yourself that gift. So if if there's something that's coming up for you here, you're thinking of maybe new ways of movement, put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, I really appreciate it if you click the like button, and if you want to share it with anyone, I super appreciate that. That is going to get it out to more people. And if you want to see future videos, I have so many fun ideas that I'm excited to share with you guys. Make sure you hit subscribe and the bell button so that you get notifications when I put out new videos. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you guys can come to a place where there's more movement with love, not as a punishment, and let me know what you think. All right, thanks guys. Have a great day.